Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to be filming my Kindle TBR. Now, I know we always talk about physical TBRs, but I have never really seen many people talk about their Kindle TBR. Now, my mental list in my TBR head is very long, but my Kindle TBR isn't actually that long, I don't believe. So I thought that we could go through all of the books that are on my TBR, what ones I'm excited for, what ones I'm kind of been leaving, and I feel like we're just going to get into it. I don't think we've got anything else to discuss, but I do want to just actually talk about my Kindle. So I've got the Kindle Colorsoft and I really enjoyed it. I've got some stickers on the back, as you can see, and then it's just a color one. So you will see throughout the video that it's all colored, but I feel like I'm going to stop rambling and I'm just going to get into all of the books that are on my Kindle. Is a Dawn of the Cursed Queen by Amber V. Nicole. That is the third book in the Book of Asriel series. Now, I really did enjoy the first one. I really did like the second one, and I'm really excited to see kind of where we continue with this story. I do like the story writing, and I do think it's a really good fantasy, and I've thoroughly enjoyed kind of the story so far and the plot. And I know the fourth book has recently come out, but I just wanted to wait for the fourth book to come out just in case that there is a cliffhanger. The next book I have on my Kindle TBR is A Game of Love and Betrayal by Iliana Argaela. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm so sorry if I have just butchered this author's name. And this book I actually found on TikTok, and I had seen a little clip about it. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to read. I need that on my TBR now. And I found it on Kindle Unlimited, which I'm very happy about. So that is the second book on my TBR. The third book I have is Psychotic Obsessions by Leigh Rivers. Now, she's the writer of the Edge of Darkness trilogy, and I love that trilogy. The pain that I felt though was there was no ends to it, but I really did enjoy that book. So I'm very excited to see Psychotic Obsession because it's about parents, and I'm very intrigued to see how they kind of started off. The next book is Under Your Scars by Ariel N. Anderson. Now, this is another dark romance. I don't know actually that much about it, so I've kind of left myself going blind. I probably shouldn't when it comes to dark romances, but I definitely am going to go in blind. Then I've got two books here. I've got Killer of Mine and Secrets of Mine by Alexis Grace, and they're kind of like a it's like got like a murder mystery element to it, but it's also like a romance, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I have started the first one. I'm not that far in, but there is also the second book on my Kindle TBR, which I'm very excited about. The third book, though, the 7th book on my TBR, sorry, is A Promise So Bold and Broken by Sophie St. Germain. Now, if you had watched my recent video, I think it was my 24-hour readathon. I think it was my 24, or can I finish my TBR, my Feb TBR? It's one of those two videos. You would have seen me read A Tongue So Deadly and Sweet, and the cliffhanger got me, guys. I'm so I cannot wait to pick that book up, and I think the month of March is going to be it for me. The next book is Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which is the fourth book in the Addicted Sister Calloway's sister series. I'm very excited to get into this. I feel like I am starting to enjoy the book more and more as time goes on. I'm starting to enjoy the series as it goes on. I think at the beginning I was a bit like, I'm not too sure, but now I'm definitely loving it. Then we've got Face Off by Chelsea Curto, which is the first book in the DC Stars series, which is like an ice hockey romance series. I'm very excited to get my hands on these and get reading. I feel like they are one of the books that I kind of keep putting off because I'm scared that I hear such good things about it that I'm not going to love it as much. The next book is Toxic by Nicole Blanchard, and this is again another book that I saw on my TikTok, and I just added it straight to my Kindle library. I don't really know anything about it. I just went straight in, but I think it is another kind of like dark romancy or dark fantasy one. We've got Kiss Me Like I Didn't Kill You by SB Lennox. Now, this is another one. I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across a clip of the book, and I was like, yes, I need to read. So I'm very excited about that. Again, I don't actually know anything about it, and you might notice a little theme. I don't actually know much about some of the books that are on my Kindle TBR. We then have Wrecked by Brie L. Mina, which was also another book that I found on TikTok. Everyone was like crying over it, saying it was like the most heart-wrenching thing, and I was like, I need to read it because I haven't got a Boys Atonement book yet, so I feel like I need to read something that's going to prepare me for that. So I feel like I'm just going to read a heart-wrenching book. who knows, guys. I think it's about a plane crash, I want to say. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of just going off the picture, but I think there's like a plane or something in there. Then the next book we've got is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bullen, which is the first book in the Wings Academy or Blood Wing Academy series. I'm very excited to start that series. I feel like I wanted to kind of not read it while it was in the hype, just because I didn't want to be disappointed in it. So I've left it, and I definitely think the month of March is going to be when I start that series. I'm very excited. I've got I Will Break You by Gigi Sticks, which is another dark romance book. And again, I don't actually know anything about it, but I'm very excited to read it. We've then got Arcana Academy by Elsie Kova. I have avoided knowing anything about this book. I want to go in as blind as possible. I just like knowing with fantasy. If I know little to nothing, I feel like I enjoy it more. So we've also got Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. We have Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, you would have seen me you would have seen the Touch of Darkness series on my shelves, and I absolutely love that book. So I'm very excited to read a different kind of story to hers. And again, I don't know anything about this book. We then have Kingmakers, which is year one, which is the first kind of book from the Brutal Birthright. I think these are the children, and I really want to get into that. But again, I've just not really wanted to pick that book up or at the start of that series. I don't know why. I don't know whether my reading taste has changed, but I have had it on my Kindle for a very long time, and I still haven't picked it up. The next book is The Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. I think that's how you say it. And I remember this going around BookTok and BookTube a while ago, and I never wanted to read it in its hype, but I still need to read it. I think it's been on my Kindle now for at least 2 years, potentially. So I definitely think it needs to be read very shortly. The next book on my Kindle TBR is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. Now, I think I've said to myself for the last 3 years that I'm going to read this book, and I haven't. Whether that's a sign that I just don't think I'm ever going to read it and it's just taken up a book space, I don't know, guys. But please tell me whether it is worth a read. And then lastly, the last book that is on my TBR is A Rune of Roses by K.F. Breen or Breen. Again, this book has probably been on my TBR, on my Kindle for at least 3 or 4 years, guys. I'm not even kidding you. And I just was like, I might want to try it. I might try it. And then it's just sat there. It is just sat there for the last 3 or 4 years, guys. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like it's one of those that I will start. I just need the motivation to start it. Whether I need to just go in and just get it done, I don't know, but I definitely think that that is the list at the moment. There is, what is there currently in my list? Let me just find it. So we've also got a few others that I feel like I just need to tell me whether they're worth reading. And that's A King of Battle and Blood, which is the Adrian X Isolade book 1 by Scarlett St. Clair. I have seen this book around, but I just don't know whether I'm going to read it. I've got Beautiful Find, which is Dark Enemies to Lovers romance. It's the North Shore series by Lola King. I have seen a lot of people read this and I cannot wait. We've got Phantom by H.D. Colton, which is linked in with the Haunted and Hunting Adeline series, which I really enjoyed. I'm not going to lie, guys. We've got Relentless Devil, which is the Sons of Valentino book by Kylie Kent. We also have The Devilish King, which is the Valento Empire, which I don't know which one to read first. I feel like I'm just going to have a little look, guys. The next one we've got is Kingdom of Feywood by Krista Street. I think I'd seen this in a TikTok video and I was like, oh, that sounds right up my street. We've got Fight, which is by Sloane St. James. It's got the Hope, Fight, and it's like a 3-book, I think. We've got Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rurick. I have seen Emmy rave about this series and I just need to know. I've seen the series pop up a little bit on my TikTok, but not as much. But Emmy at Emmy Rossum, I cannot, she makes me want to read it. But again, I just don't think I can divulge into a big series right now. And I think it's one of those where I don't think I'd want to leave it. Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf. I have seen this pop up so much. It's a dark dystopian romance, and I'm very excited to kind of see about that. We've got Fairy by Veronica Lancet. The only thing that puts me off is the fact that it is such a big book, and I just don't know whether I would enjoy it. We've got what else have we got? We've got In the Dark by Chelsea Curto, which I think is more of a darker romance ones. We've got Once You're Mine, which is by Morgan Bridges, and apparently it's this viral romance, dark stalker romance book, and I like a dark romance. I just haven't. I've got Dark Soul by Tatiana Krees. I have Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. I have The Dark Lord's Guide to Dating and Other War Crimes by Tiffany Hunt. I saw this on my TikTok, I want to say. I'd seen it on my TikTok, and then all of a sudden I was like, I need to know. So that is also on there. We've got Tea and Alchemy by Sharon Lynn Fisher. We've got Left Off Forever, a second chance romance by Tahara Dewitt, which is the second book to Savor It, I want to say. I don't know if it's in reach. Yeah, Savor It's this one here. So I've got Under Your Scars, which we already knew, Threaded by Tay Rose. I'm not too sure about what this is, but I've heard really good things. I've got Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. I think it's a book that went round a couple of years ago, and I remember being like, oh, I really want to read it, and then I just never got around to it. We've got Maxim, a dark Russian romance mafia standalone by Ava Summers. We've got Haunted Love, which is apparently a dark brother's best friend standalone romance by Sheridan Ann. I'd seen that pop up. We've got Craven Delilah, which is a dark enemies to lovers standalone by M. James. We have You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. We've got Nocticadia by Kerry Lake. We've got Empire of Flame and Thorns by Marion Blackwood. We've got A Bargain with the Faking, a steamy fantasy fae romance by Megan Van Dyke. We've got Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa Rowick. I think I've got that whole series on here somewhere. And you probably would think, wouldn't it just make sense to just read the ones that you've got? But I decided to have a whole series on here. I also have all of the Penelope Douglas books, of course, from the, what's it called? The Devil Knight series on here. So I have got quite a few books on here that I do look at quite a lot. And that is actually the end of today's video now. I think I've said that already, but it's fine, guys. But that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you've got any Kindle Recs, please leave them down in the comments. If you've got any books that you've read or books that you think other people will read or what I might read, let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys later.